to the cloud. Hello, welcome back to How to Run Facebook Ads with Carlos Martinez. I'm your host, Carlos Martinez. Now, this small class, it's definitely not a beginner class. So you have to have a couple of things ready to go before you can run your ads, including you have to have your Facebook connected to your KW, which that's around here in the settings area. You're going to connect it right there. And then you have to connect it as well as marketing automation. That class, that's not today. Today we're going to go right into the ads. So on the left-hand side, you have campaigns. Now I'll start off by saying that leads are only as good as you following up with them, right? So personally, if you ask me, I would not run one ad ever unless I'm in Smart Plans. My Smart Plans, and I had a class on Smart Plans last week. And if you've got a good smart plan and a good follow-up process, then yes, start running ads. So obviously I've created a couple of my own plans, excuse me. I have this is my super buyer follow-up smart plan where it goes off in terms of for the next 12 days they start getting 9 touches from me. So like I said, you should run ads after you've got a game plan, because what happens is that a lot of people say, oh, leads don't work. And the truth is that sometimes it's not a lead problem, it's a lead conversion issue, right? So make sure that you have a good game plan going on. And if you want to speak more about that, then reach out to me personally. I will put my information, I will put my link in the description. My name is Carlos Martinez. And my email address is cmartinez@kw.com. And that's right in the chat box. So, so to run an ad, you're going to go to the campaign sections right here, and you're going to go to paid ads. Now, I've got a couple of them. I archive them once I'm done, but I ran I I ran an ad for $30. I received 1,200 impressions, 112 clicks, and 19 leads off of it. So that wasn't too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right from the beginning. Up here on the top, you hit create a new campaign, and it's a social Google. This is paid. This is an organic post. In other words, if you have complete that you have an amazing set of friends on Facebook that love, trust you, and know you, and you're creating content at a high level, I would definitely go organic and just do organic in general. So I'm going to go to hit paid social ad, and then it's going to ask me, what do you want to call this ad? So I'm going to put it Facebook class 820 ad. And it's going to ask you, what do you want? There's a couple of things that you would really want to do, and the biggest one is attract buyers. To attract listings, you're going to have to kind of guide them to some sort of a place where they can get a valuation for their home and whatnot. And that's a different class because it has to go deeper into there. And that's really all you're going to do. Brand awareness, personally, I don't think that you should be hitting brand awareness because most of us are in a stage where brand awareness is not as important as capturing as many leads as humanly possible right now. So I would definitely attract buyers. Now it's going to give you a choice. You can run between Facebook and Instagram at the same time, but we recommend you don't. We recommend you do one at a time. And in this case, we're going to do Facebook. And the reason for that is you want to see what's working and what isn't working. I can run an ad within about 6 minutes from the moment I get started, from the moment I click on create a new campaign to the moment it's up and running, just because I've done this a couple of times. So I'm going to click on Facebook and I'm going to hit set up campaigns. By the way, if you do have a question, please stop me and say, hey, Carlos, what's going on with this? All right. So on the top hand side, I'm going to select the listing. Now, I have a listing that I'm going to push out. This unless somebody has a specific listing, Keller Williams listing that maybe you want me to run. I will ask that the listing is relatively new and that you did take professional pictures with it, not iPhone pictures. Nothing wrong with iPhone pictures, but they don't seem to do well within Facebook. And if you do have that, then let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna proceed to give you what you need on this Facebook ad. And there's a couple of there's a couple of things. Let me hit this section. Where are you?
Hi, Carlos.
Yes.
Hi, I have a listing if you need one, a relatively new one.
Sure. What's the address?
It's going to be 27 Reservoir Street in Bethel, Connecticut.
Let's see if this comes up. Reservoir Street.
Street.
27, right?
Yes.
Not coming up. Bethel, right? Yeah, that's gonna.
It'll be listed for $299,900.
Oh, okay, cool. So let me go back to here and let me share. So this is my so this is the listing right here. And the first picture, I already like it. It has a nice they did either that was edited or they did the twilight. Oh no, it was edited. Um, so these are great pictures. It shows the property. Um, it's very it looks clean. I like that they're a musician back here. It looks clean. And I would try to avoid any pictures with pets, not because I don't like them, but just because there's a lot of people who maybe may not like that. So, so let's go back to here. And so when we select the listing, thanks, John. So when we select the listing, we're going to hit add a listing. And right here, you have only my listings or all listings. You have to click on all listings if you're not the owner of that listing. Now, I will tell you that 90% or 95, maybe 98% of our agents, both in Ridgefield and in Stanford, don't mind that you advertise a listing, their listing, but they do want the heads up or you asking them, hey, can I do this? And for the most part, John, would you agree if an agent said, hey, can I advertise your listing? Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, not a problem.
Right? So, because John wants to sell the listing, right? So we're going to select that. And now, and let me read this. The ad is actually pretty good. Wait, okay, yeah. So the text is actually pretty good. It may be too much. It may be too much for the top, so we're gonna cut a little bit off of the top. Oh wait, hello. We're gonna cut a little bit off of the top and put it onto the headline or the description, I should say. And newly listed. What else could we say about the property? I think that this is the hardest part about so give me some keywords that you would like to say about this property, John. Newly listed.
I'm trying to advertise it as a really good condo alternative. you know, it's a fairly small 2-bedroom home, but makes for a good condo alternative. Nice and private location with a additional storage in the barn, and it has a nice backyard. So
Yeah. I love that. I love that. So in in do you know how far we are from New York City? Minutes? Okay, never mind.
probably 70 minutes from New York.
Okay, cool. So, um, my oh, excuse me. And personally, I love emojis, and we have seen that there is greater engagement once we add an emoji. Um, so I would add a couple of emojis, to be honest with you. They don't have to be fancy, but do keep it relevant. You don't want to put a pancake emoji in a house because then it doesn't make any sense, right? Or you don't want to put a tent in a house because now they're questioning what you're actually selling them, right? Um, so um, downtown. All right. Now the description is pretty good. It gets right to the point. It gets their attention. I love this first shot right here. But what I like to do, so I'm gonna save this. Um, and now when it comes to the media, I'm gonna add a little more, and I'm probably gonna find maybe 2 more pictures of something that I say, okay, this um, obviously kitchens sell most houses, right? So I'm probably torn between 1 and 2, and I'm probably going to end up choosing this one right here. A little bit more of the floor, less of the ceiling. And I'd probably keep it at about 3 absolute max for a carousel. Why 3? Because it kind of gets their attention, but it just leaves them wanting more. If you put 16 pictures in a carousel, they don't need to click on the ad anymore. They already saw everything they needed to see, right? So, and I wouldn't put any tight, if it's a really tight room, like a bedroom or something like that, I would probably not end up doing that. If this is probably, yeah, I like this one here. What do you think about that? So this is, again, carousel, we see have a little more action to them. And then that's it. We're gonna save media. Here comes the juicy part. We're gonna go into here, and I have a lot of pages, right? So you may not have a lot of pages, but where's the real estate pages that I use? Nope, not this one. This is what I use for recruiting. Yeah, this is what I use to run Facebook ads right here, right? So it's just a generic Facebook ad. Callum is actually my video company. I have those of you who know me, I own a video production company, and I just decided to rename Callum Realty just to post out there. And those of you who know me know I'm not in production because I am in management or in leadership. So anyways, so this is, yes?
It looks, I don't know if anybody else is seeing this. It looks like it's on the command screen, but I'm not seeing a shared screen for what you just updated. It's still showing the Cullen Realty example.
Yeah, I just put that in the chat, Carlos, that you weren't sharing the screen.
On the beginning, yeah.
What I'm doing. Oh my gosh. This whole time? What a
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it wasn't sharing the whole time.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to restart this whole thing again. I'm just kidding. So really quickly, sorry about that, guys. Really quickly, now you can see this screen, right? Sorry about that. So the name, okay, we got here the name, the ad text. So here's how you're going to choose a listing. You have to go into it's going to ask you only my listings or or all listings, you have to click on all listings and then you can search by the property address, which we already did. You're gonna then hit select. It's gonna pull up that property. When it comes to the add text, you wanna keep maybe a 1, maximum a 2-liner. You don't want a whole paragraph up here because it's gonna bore them, right? And they're gonna look away. I would suggest always doing 1 or 2 emojis, depending on what you're talking about. Just try to keep it relevant. And like I said, don't put a pancake or you know, a fruit emoji or something like that, because it's just not relevant. It's gonna probably deter them from looking at your ad. Great condo alternative. I love that. And then the description, always keep it short, because remember, it gets cut off here, and very few times does anyone ever say, let me see more information on that, right? So you're gonna hit save, you're gonna hit save add text. And what I will recommend you to do is, as you are on Facebook, if you see something that catches your attention from another realtor, do the good old R&D, the rip off and duplicate in some way or fashion, right? Because if it's getting your attention, then you could say, okay, how can I incorporate that? How can I make that my own, right? Not everything that we personally like, everybody will like it, but if it's getting our attention, it's going to get the attention of others, right? And here comes the juicy part, like I was saying before. So I have a couple of pages here. So I'm going to click on Callum Realty. And it shows my supposed real estate information up here. Pretty sweet logo for someone who doesn't really sell real estate anymore, right? So so a couple of things. I would use, it's going to ask, do you want a landing site or a lead generation form? Here's the kicker. If you are using something like Cloud CMA or something like that. I'm sorry, somebody said something?
Me, sorry. I was not on mute by accident.
Oh, okay. If someone is using something like Cloud CMA or something like that to capture seller leads, I would use, I would take them to a different site. If not, for buyers, we recommend using the Facebook lead generation, the lead generation form, right? Where they hit learn more, and they can go from that point on. Facebook ads asks them to enter their information. It's basically like a 3-liner. If you have a very powerful, if you're using a command, or you have your own site that you're using at a very high level, then I would say use that. But if you have just the basic command page and a basic website that doesn't have a way to capture those leads, I would say use that Facebook lead generation form. Save yourself headache. And now you can, as soon as they sign up, you can follow up with a follow-up destination URL. I have a couple of them here, but the main one I use is agent site homepage. I would again recommend that right here where it's consumer, you can set up your a landing page, and that's where they're going to go, right? And now the ad targeting is extremely important. It's extremely important because you don't, as well as Facebook does algorithms, you don't want them to just kind of say, well, we think it's this and we think it's that. No. So the first thing is that personally, I'm gonna look for Brooklyn, New York, or actually this is too far away. So let's look at let's look at Bethel, Connecticut. No. No. Stanford. Tough crowd. What's going on here? Let me hit save as draft and just refresh my page. Are you want to save as draft? Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna come back in here and hit edit campaign. Facebook ad configure, search location, Bethel, Connecticut. There you go. And I'm gonna keep this to about the lowest radius you can go is about 15 miles. I would say about 25 miles to 15 miles is probably where you want to be. You don't want to go too far. You don't want to go too unless you're doing a real targeting. And by the way, remember that we have this awesome thing called referral patterns, right? In our referral tab, right? So you're going to go to referral tab, you're going to go to map, you can go to referral patterns, or we know them as migration patterns. And I'd love to see where folks are coming from in this area, right? And so if I wanted to target Garden City, White Plains, Florida, I can do Maryland, I can do Missouri, Georgia, Woodcliff, so on and so forth, Illinois. So we have a couple of things that you could do there if you wanted to target it specifically. And then the most important thing, I would add and change interests. And a couple of the interests, obviously I would do Zillow. So if someone says that they're interested in Zillow, not Zillow Premier Agent, that you don't want. Realtor.com, again, not Realtor Pro. Trulia is owned by Zillow, so that may not come up, but it did. I would also do house hunting, maybe. I would do 7 to 10 of these, to be honest with you. FHA insured loan, right? You can do real estate. You could do real estate investing. Why not? Let's hit save on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let me just do, I always like to do apartments.com. And even apartment guide, and what else? I think that's it for now. So that's save selection, and we have a couple of interests here, right? You're gonna save Facebook ad. If at any point something is not green, it'll let you know, and you won't be able to run the ad. Now, I'm going to go on to here, and I'm going to do a 10-day duration starting tomorrow. I'm going to put it for 30 ads, save duration, and then I'm going to hit publish campaign. And when I hit publish campaign, it's going to ask me which card do I want it on. I'm going to hit that one, and I'm going to create the ad. So I'm going to create this ad. And then I'll touch base with you guys in about 2 weeks to let you know how it went. And then we will go from there. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I have one. So I know, Facebook and Instagram are linked, and a lot of times when I post an Instagram post, it'll ask if I want to post to Facebook as well. If I'm doing the 2 separate social media sites, do I have to do them as 2 individual campaigns here?
Yes, although you can click on it. And by the way, it says pending review. If it's pending review for more than 2 days, you have to go in there. It's because something is wrong. If it's like 3 days, forget it. Something is wrong. Facebook is not going to approve it. But to answer your question, John, yes, you have to go in there and you have to create 2 different ads. We recommend 2 different ads. You can technically do Facebook and Instagram all in one ad, but we recommend 2 different ads so that you can make sure it's actually working. Now, to let you know, every time I run an ad, I just want to let you know that I always come in here and hit duplicate campaign, because I know that this one worked for me. I ran ads before that I got absolutely nothing. It was a waste of time and it was a waste of money because I didn't do anything, and I said, okay, I'm just gonna run it and hopefully something happens. But then the more I went into depth, I went in depth with not only with the listings that I was running, but the text I was writing. I cared more about the way it looked and all of that. I stopped referring them to an external site and asked Facebook to capture that lead. The better results I started seeing. I had a better ad, but I ended up archiving it and then I lost it. And if you ever wanted to see what you did, you can go duplicate and customize, and then you could see what we did exactly on here. And by the way, if you wanted to target your own database, not like everyone on Facebook, you're gonna hit target my database right there. So that's pretty exciting. Any questions, comments, complaints? Aside from the screen not being shared, sorry about that. I'm gonna have to set up like a little Zoom page on my phone just to make sure everything's being shared. Okay, great. If there's no questions, comments, or complaints, and if you do have one, go ahead and unmute yourself. Again, what I did ask you is that if you are ever going to run any kind of ad, please have a follow-up plan. Please have a game plan, because if you don't have, I don't know if you saw the opportunities that I had, the smart plans, excuse me, that I have. I have my niece here, rocking and rolling in the back, doing smart plans for me. She's just chugging away, throwing a whole bunch of smart plans on here. This is something that we're creating for new agents, but like I have a career, no, not a career night. I have a first-time home buyer seminar, or first-time home buyer program. And by the way, there's a lot of folks on Facebook that share their stuff, right? And if you don't know how to find it, let me show you something. Let me show you a group that I'm a part of on the Facebook. And now let me share my screen again here with y'all, because it's so confusing on how to find them, right? So let's say I'm with KWYP. KWYP is one of my favorite folks to look at because they really know their stuff. So I'm going to look for groups. Okay, maybe I can't find any groups here, but KW, I should have probably done this before. Sorry, guys. Keller Williams Young Professionals. Oh yeah, here we go. So I'm going to go to the Young Professionals section here. I'm going to go to Files. It's up right here on the left-hand side, Files. And I can kind of look at like all of the stuff that other folks are doing. If you're over 40, I'm sure they have other groups out there. But if you're under 40, I would say join the Keller Williams Young Professionals. And it's for stuff like this, because I could literally ask, hey, how do you guys do this? How do you guys that? And everybody's pretty cool with sharing stuff. So they may have like a different smart plans, or even search Command Your Conversion. I think Command Your Conversion is actually pretty good. Command Your Conversion. So that's a bigger group with almost 40,000 members. Go to Files. And this is actually, forget Keller Williams Young Professionals. Command Your Conversion is where it's at. Look how many good stuff they have. A Facebook lead smart plan. They're ready to go, where you can just cut and paste and just kind of tweak it to make it your own. But again, more importantly than running an ad is having a good system to follow up on. It's like having a Ferrari and not being able to drive because you don't know how to drive manual. You're going to take cool pictures and say, hey, I got 20 leads. Look at me. Oh, well, good for you. Close the leads, right? Good for you. You got a Ferrari. Now drive it, right? So that if you have any questions, let me know. Any questions, comments, complaints before we end this class? I hope you all found it useful. All right, cool. I just want to share something. I always say if you have come to Keller Williams and I had that meeting, that recruiting meeting, then you've heard this story, but I like to share it all the time. When I was an agent, when I was in production, I put my then team leader, the rainmaker of my group, told me I had to put everybody on the drip campaign, also known as the SMART plan. And one of the people was my then client. I was watching TV on a Friday, and she texted me, not tomorrow, I'm working, how about Sunday? I was like, what is she talking about? I opened up the app. It had automatically sent her a text message that said the weekend is coming up, do you want to go see homes? We saw 3 in Norwalk, placed an offer on 2 of them. She ended up taking 1 of them, and that was because of a drip campaign. Smart plans work, and they're out there. You know, Keller Williams is a pretty big company, 183,000 agents across the world. There's a lot of Facebook groups. There's a lot of people that are willing to share their stuff every single day. So make it, and if you find something that works for you, if you're getting leads for like 60 cents or whatever it is, because I know some folks in Ridgefield were telling me that they were getting leads for a ridiculous price. So if you're getting those leads, hit me up. I want to know what you're doing, and I want to share the wealth with everyone else. All right, guys? So stay safe. God bless, and I'll see you guys soon.